Hello and welcome to the Heal and Grow podcast. Today, I want to share something that sounds very simple, but most people misunderstand it their whole life. This one small idea could have saved me years of stress, overthinking, and feeling not enough. But no one told me when I needed it the most. So maybe today, I can tell you instead. Here it is. Everything in life has two sides. But we suffer because we only see one. I remember there was a time when I felt very stuck. Things were not going the way I wanted. Work was stressful. I compared myself to other people, and I kept thinking that I was behind in life. Every day, my mind focused on what was missing, what was not good enough, what was not working. And because of that, even small problems felt very heavy. It was like I was only looking at one side of life, the darker side. And the more I looked at it, the bigger it became. And I remember one moment very clearly. I applied for a job that I really wanted. I spent a lot of time preparing. I imagined myself working there. I thought, this is my chance. But in the end, I didn't get it. I still remember the feeling. I felt disappointed, a little lost, and I kept asking myself, why not me? For a few days, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It felt like a failure. But then, something unexpected happened. Not long after that, I applied to another company. A bigger one, a place I thought was even harder to enter. This time I didn't expect too much. I just tried my best. And somehow, I got the job. The environment was better, the people were more supportive, and the opportunities were much bigger than the first one. And when I looked back, I realized something that almost made me smile. If I had gotten the first job, I would never have tried for the second one. I would have stayed in something smaller, and maybe I would never know there was something better waiting for me. What I thought was bad luck was actually opening a better door. And in that moment, I understood, maybe life was not against me. Maybe I was just seeing the wrong side of the story. And that experience stayed with me. It made me think a little differently about the things that happen in life. Not long after that, there was another small moment that helped me understand this even more clearly. I remember one time after I started exercising again. The next day, my body felt sore and uncomfortable. Every movement felt heavy. I thought, why does it hurt so much? It felt like something was wrong. Like I had done something bad to my body. And this is interesting. Because in life, we often think the same way. When something feels uncomfortable, we quickly believe it must be a bad sign. We think, this is not right. This should not be happening. But then I stopped for a moment, and I asked myself a different question. What if this pain is not a problem, but a process? Because when you think about it, your muscles only grow when they are pushed beyond what they are used to. They break, and then rebuild stronger. Without that stress, without that discomfort, nothing changes. So the pain was not telling me to stop. The pain was telling me something is happening. And maybe life works in the same way. Feeling lost might mean you are outgrowing your old path. Feeling uncomfortable might mean you are stepping into something new. Feeling unsure might mean you are learning. But because it doesn't feel good, we call it wrong. And that's where we misunderstand growth. We think growth should feel exciting, clear, and beautiful. But many times, growth feels confusing, slow, and uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like success. It feels like pressure. It feels like doubt. It even feels like pain. But maybe That is exactly how it is supposed to feel. And in that moment, something shifted in me. The feeling in my body did not change, but the meaning of that feeling changed. It was still uncomfortable, but it was no longer negative. And I realized something I had never truly understood before. Not everything that feels bad is bad. Sometimes it is just growth in a different form. In nature, everything has two sides. There is day and night. If there was only day, we would feel tired, we would not rest. Night may feel dark, but it gives us peace, silence, and recovery. There is sun and rain. The sun gives energy, but too much sun can hurt. Rain can feel uncomfortable, but without rain, nothing grows. Even in our own body, our genes can carry both strength and weakness at the same time. Something that helps us in one situation may challenge us in another. And in many philosophies, like yin and yang, people believe that life is always a balance between opposites. Light cannot exist without darkness. Joy cannot exist without sadness. But when it comes to our personal life, we often forget this truth. When something good happens, we are happy. But when something difficult happens, we immediately believe that something is wrong, that life is unfair, that we are unlucky. We ask questions like, why me? Or why is this happening? And without noticing, we train our mind to focus only on the negative side. Over time, this becomes a habit. We stop seeing the full picture. Let me share another small story. Imagine someone who loses a job. At first, it feels like a failure. There is fear, stress, and maybe even shame. But after some time, that same person may find a new path, a better job, or even start something of their own. Many people only see the first part of the story. But life is longer than one moment. What looks like a problem today may become a turning point tomorrow. The same situation, but two different sides. Or think about relationships. Sometimes a relationship ends and it feels very painful. You feel lonely, you feel rejected, and you think you lost something important. But later, you may realize that you learned more about yourself, about what you need, about what kind of love is right for you. Without that experience, maybe you would stay in something that is not truly good for you. Again, two sides. The truth is, life is never only good or only bad. It is always mixed, always changing, always moving. But your experience of life depends on where you choose to look. If you only look at what is missing, you will always feel empty. If you only look at what is difficult, you will always feel tired. But if you learn to also see what is growing, what is possible, what is still good, your heart becomes lighter. This does not mean you ignore problems. It does not mean you pretend everything is perfect. It simply means you choose to see more than one side. You give yourself a chance to understand life more fully, more gently. So the next time something difficult happens, I want you to try something very small, but very powerful. Change the question you ask yourself. Instead of asking, why is this so bad? Try asking, what can this teach me? Instead of asking, why am I so unlucky? Try asking, what is another way to see this? Instead of saying, this is the worst thing, gently ask, is there something here that I cannot see yet? Because sometimes the situation does not change immediately, but your mind does. And when your mind changes, your experience changes. You feel a little more open, a little more calm, a little more hopeful, and that is where growth begins. So if you're going through something right now, something confusing, something heavy, just remember this. This is only one side of the story. There is always another side, even if you cannot see it yet. And maybe slowly with time you will. Everything has two sides, light and dark, gain and loss, joy and pain. And life is not asking you to choose only the good side. Life is asking you to understand both and still keep moving forward. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Before you go, just take a slow, gentle breath and let your mind soften a little. And maybe the next time something feels heavy or confusing, don't rush to say, "This is bad." Just pause and gently ask yourself, is there another side I cannot see yet? Because sometimes life doesn't need to change. We just need to look at it a little differently. And when you do that, even the same life can start to feel lighter, calmer, and a little more hopeful. You're doing better than you think, and maybe things are not as bad as they seem. I'll see you again very soon.